Yeah, boom. Yeah, this video is about how to make decisions with when you are mixing your drums. And yep, let's just dive in without wasting much time. What I did first, after getting your balance between all the elements, panning right, everything, so let's quickly dive into the routed drum elements. So let's go there. The first thing I always do, and I'm going to be teaching why and the disadvantage and the advantage. That's how I teach normally, so that you'll be able to, you know, put up your own, you know, ideas and your own creativity around it. So this is standard clips. Look at what he's doing. Already the drum is already feeling a bit dense. So what this basically does is, I've explained it in several videos, but I'm going to put it in a different perspective. So what this basically does is try to chop off the peak and make the beats a bit dense, you know, try to reduce the peak and the transient level. So the next thing I did was, so as you can see now, I am using the Corrective EQ. What am I doing with this? After using this one to kind of chop off the peak, which is the first one on the list, the clipper, I discovered that the beat is still a bit bright, and I'm not liking some frequencies. Bypassed. Yeah, this kind of just, you know, make the beat fatter because I've reduced some frequency. Now, like I said before, this is what we call mirror effect. In mix, we call it frequency mirror effect, something like that. So it means when you are boosting, you are actually cutting. When you are cutting, you are boosting. So as I am reducing this area of the frequency spectrum of this frequency, I'm actually boosting the low end. So that's what it means. So I'm trying to tell your ear to hear this more. It is called low pass. If I'm reducing frequencies from the higher part of this spectrum, it's invariably, with the law of mirror effect, I'm actually boosting the low end. So that's what it does. So this will kind of make the drum a bit darker. So that's just to keep the record there straight. So the next thing I'm doing is this. Again, I'm still trying to tame the higher part of the drum. I want it a bit fuller. I want it full because it's sounding kind of scanty in my ear because it's too, you know, the high end is too much. So what we are aiming at now is how to make this the beat dense, how to make it fuller and thick. That's what we are aiming at now. Now watch how it's going to change again, which is perception. Listen. So as you can see, this one, take a look. I'm using the auto gain and I'm using very little, just to, you know, correct some frequency. As you can see in this area of the frequency, look at it, let the drum start. So it's boosting this area and trying to cut. So it's just trying to shape the frequency. So I'm not using too much of it. So try to use that wisely. See, the next on my list is this. See this, what this thing is doing. So anytime there is a mid frequency that is popping out, try to, you know, adjust it. Anytime there is a high frequency that is popping out, it tries to adjust it. So that's what it's doing. And I'm keeping the sensitivity. I'm keeping the sensitivity very low. So again, this is trying to make the song dense. Again, now it changes from the next plugin. Now you see me bringing up a compressor now. Now this compressor, what is my perception here? What do I want to achieve with a compressor at the end? This compressor now is now bringing, because we have used those other plugins to kind of, you know, make the song dense. What do I mean by dense? I mean reduce the transient. So the transient, instead of being like this, the transient is now like this. The transient is not like this. So now we're trying to shaping the transient back to something like this again. So what we have now is dense and a transient that will cut through the mix. So we're having two things now as opposed to what we had before. You can see what he's doing. So as you can see my EQ curve here, I'm trying to remove so that the compressor does not catch the low end and a bit of the high end. So again, I said, okay, I need the drum to be forceful again more. I need it to be forceful more. I added a parallel compression for the drums. Some people say you don't always use a parallel processing. I use it, but I use them for a reason. I don't just use things. So, yep. So what did I do? I first of all bring this again. You can see what I'm doing here. Very little compression. You can see what I'm doing here. You can pause it and see my settings. Very little, fast attack, fast release somewhat, and I'm hitting about 4 dB just to bring back the transient and density. So this is, you might be shocked seeing this. Look at this. Don't be shocked. Because it is arrow comp does not mean you can't use it for every other thing. It doesn't mean you can't use it for every other thing. No. What you need to do, what you need to know is it achieving what you want it to achieve? That's what you need to focus on. Not whether or not it's written arrow vox. It means it's just for vocal. No. You can use it on anything provided it serves its purpose, what you are using it for. Okay, let me see. Okay, now again, this is Renaissance, something like that. So this is Renaissance, and it is doing a bit of, this actually brings transient of anything you want to use it on. Sonic Crusher, you should go and get it, it's free. So I didn't use any of the compression side, so I was focusing more on I did a little bit of high pass here. I was focusing on this area, as you can see, this clip threshold. So see what I did here. You can see. So anywhere there is a hike, you just chop it off more. Just brush it up. So clipper too. On the parallel, don't forget the parallel. You can see. So it's very simple. So now I had to feed it in. As you can see here, fader. I had to feed it in with about minus 18 to 19 dB to have that density. So let me increase it and let's see. Can you feel the density, even increasing it to about 4 to 3 dB, minus 4 to 3 dB? You can see the density it brings to the drum. So but because I don't need much of it, I had to just reduce it to any where I feel okay. So see the density now as opposed to the bypass, opposed to where we are coming from. So I'm going to bypass all the plugins and we see what we have achieved. So let's bypass all the plugins and see where we are coming from. So this is all the plugins bypassed. No, so weird. Sounding so mixed. Yeah, now let's bring back the plugins and let's take a listen. Yeah, very pleasant to the ear now, sounding like very mixed, you know. When you master this kind of things now, you have rest assured that you have, you know, control all the dynamics, the, you know, transient, everything is well controlled. That's the essence of mixing. The more you are able to control the dynamics and the transient of a song, the better the mix will definitely translate. When you are saying a song is big, bigness, wideness has to do with transient and dynamics. If your song is well controlled, your song will just appear very big, sound very big. So yeah, and don't let me forget my reverb. I send it to reverb again, the drum. So this is the EQ first. and my favorite reverb for drum. Yep, that is it. And this is a track by Ifrush. Thank you. Boom.